When I say fake objections, what are some examples of them? So for Caleb, it's obviously don't have my card, which is the most annoying one.
Don't have the time.
Nah, that's not fake. I get that.
Just need to factor into my budget.
Budget, yeah, that's the best. That's my favorite one. The budget's the best one.
Photo
Um,
1K.
What was it, George?
Photo 1K. Need to pull money from
401k.
my
Family member accident.
Family member accident. Car crash aside.
Waiting to
What
get paid
about
for a job.
Waiting to get paid.
Yeah, for like a job, if it's like a B2B one or like a
I'll
trades person.
include this with this one. But
what
that is
about like
good for B2B.
what about
What?
like I'm not the decision maker?
Um, yeah, actually, let me get rid of this one because this one's just the fucking. I hate this one. Decision maker. Okay. Now, what are like all of these are basically the same thing, right? Don't have card, check my budget, 401k. This one's a little different, but these three are all just the same thing, right? They all just boil into logistics. Like 99% of the objections that people give you are logistical because it gives them an excuse to not be able to solve it on the call. When people give us this objection, what are they all just looking for? Like, what are they all trying to get out of this, out of telling us these things?
escape.
Aware
Aware of the pressure.
A way out.
A way out? What else?
Certainty.
Certainty? What else? There's one word that they're looking for.
Just time.
Time.
Time. That's exactly what they're looking for. Is they're just looking for time because they're still not 100% certain that this is the right decision. So whoever said certain is also kind of right. But the biggest thing is they just want more time. Whether that's to look at the budget, I mean, who here realistically knows whether they can afford something or not? Like you might be a little bit off, but you fucking roughly know whether you can afford something or not. Enough to give you a yes or a no. Don't have your card in this day and age, there ain't no way. There ain't no way you don't have your card. Like I always ask them, like when he said he doesn't have his card, Caleb, what was the first thing you asked him?
I just said, what do you mean you don't have your card? I'm like, how do you not have your card? And he said, well, I have my debit card, but I have to pay with a credit card, and that's at home.
Okay, so he had the debit card. Usually, when because they'll say they don't have their wallet, right? Is what they usually say don't have wallet slash card is the famous one. That's what they always hit you with. Is oh damn man, I left my wallet and my cards at home. So I'd always say to them, I'd just say, what would you do if you had to buy food or petrol, or as you Americans say, gas? Like, what would you do if your car runs out of fucking petrol? You are just fucked. And then like, oh well, like I just get my card. Okay, so where's your card? Oh, I have one on Apple Pay. Okay, well let's just use that one then. Because like all of this stuff again is just an excuse to give themselves time, to buy themselves time. Like that's all it is. Sometimes when you ask them this too, and I imagine this is what you're about to say, Herman, is they're gonna say, I have cash.
Yeah, a little bit. But I was about to say another smokescreen objection, like fake
Mhm.
objection. I got it a few times. It's like I cannot make a decision like without my wife. Like she's gonna kill me, man. Like please, like I can't do it. Like my wife is gonna be so mad. She's gonna divorce me. And it's like it's obviously bullshit, right? But like when they're like pleading you to get
Maybe.
off the call, like
Maybe, but I've met some crazy women in my time, so also maybe not at the
it's
same
like
time, to be
I
fair.
don't know. It seems like some bullshit. Like it's like instead of saying, "Oh, I want to talk to her," they just say, "I can't do it without like without her telling me that it's
Okay,
fine."
we're gonna come back to this one because this one's an interesting one. So we'll come back to this. Mike?
Sure.
I've just had basically a 2 hour call, got the
Mhm.
woman to the end, got her on fan basis. She was in the UAE using a Ugandan bank account and she hadn't used the card for 2 years. So when she put it in, it rejected it. And she was like, I'll have to ring the bank tomorrow because the bank was shut in Uganda. her other card was expired, and she actually showed me the card on camera being expired, and I was just like, she didn't have Apple Pay, she didn't have nothing else, and I was like, what the fuck do I do here?
When did it expire?
Literally this like last month. So
Okay.
she typed it in and it come up expired on screen, showing me the screen on her other phone, and I was like, oh, this is a fucking
That's
nightmare.
cool, but let me ask a stupid question here.
Go on.
How have you survived fasting and not drinking any water for a month? How the fuck have you bought anything?
She said I use cash for everything,
How do you
and
get
I was
cash
like,
out?
this me, don't know.
But like
Tried to
you know,
tried
like that's how
tried to
my
get her to do
brain
it
goes.
twice on the same card, and it was just that wasn't having any of it, and I was like, the
But
fuck
there are people that do that too. That's a common one, is where they type in like card details and they put the
wrong
expiry
number.
date. Yeah, they do that shit all the time. They think they're smart, but I
Yeah,
know the game. So I just
yeah,
quiz them. I'm just like, so you use cash. How'd you get your cash out?
yeah,
So you just took out 10 G's last month and you're living off that. Is that right? Yeah.
yeah,
Like, there's no way. Don't bullshit me. Like, if you don't want to do it, just have like, and you gotta like when they start giving me this stuff, this is also like I talk about being direct a lot, but when people are giving you this stuff, you have to be so direct with them. Like you have to just not let them away with this shit because they are just they're absolutely having you off, to be honest. Especially with that
yeah,
one. Like she's bullshitting you. Maybe she comes and pays
yeah.
us tomorrow and she got so much
Yeah,
cash.
it's you know that doesn't
I
happen,
doubt.
does it?
Yeah, very much so. Caleb,
So, like, this is kind of like sometimes where my line goes is if they're doing all of this, then like they just don't want to do it then at that point,
nah, but that's
right?
not what it is at all. It's not what it is at all.
It's not what it is. It's just
Nah,
they know they need to do it and they're trying to avoid it.
it's not that. It's a mix of things, right? For a lot of these guys, like with the budget, with the don't have the wallet, it's not that they don't want to do it. It's that it's two things, right? The number one thing is that they don't have the courage. They don't have the courage to just fucking pull the trigger, right? Like every single one of you who's invested in yourself, you know what it takes to pull the trigger, even if it's 99 a month, even if it's 400, even if it's 1,000, whatever you guys have invested, right? It takes a level of courage to pull the trigger on that. And some people, they just don't have it straight up. Like they just don't have it unless you really push them and you give them that courage. The other thing that it is too, and this plays into it, right? It is just fear. Like it's just fear. And it's the fear to tell you the truth. It's that fear. And again, and the example you gave is such a good example, which is why we're doing this coaching call. Is the guy, as you said throughout the call, is like bang on lead, wants to do it, ready to buy all of this, perfect fit, everything's looking good. Now, imagine he has to get to the end of the call and tell you, Caleb, I just can't afford to do this. How does that make him feel? And how does he think that's going to make you feel?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, why do we do this then?
Exactly. So what's the easier solution? I've left my card at home. Let me call you back later. And then he never needs to see your reaction.
Do you say they're like people pleaser
He did
avatars?
answer though.
Yeah, I don't know why he answered. Maybe he just didn't realize it was your number. And then once you're on the phone, he's just gave it up. But it's
No,
also a case of it's easier
no,
to say it on the
I
phone than
think
it
he
is to
wanted to do
listen.
it.
No, of course he
Yeah.
wanted, but this is what I'm saying, right? It's not that they don't want to do it, it's that they want to do it, but they don't have the confidence to do it, and there's still that level of fear stopping them from pulling the trigger. It's very
Yeah.
easy to want to do
Yeah. Because
something, right? Like everybody wants to go skydiving. Doesn't mean that you actually will. Doesn't mean that you can. Like if you actually got to the plane, you wouldn't be able to do it, but you'd think like, fuck, that's cool. So it's the same thing. It's not that he doesn't want to do it. It's that he does, but there's just that fear and that lack of courage holding him back from doing it. Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, because it all came down to like he was trying to say he didn't have the money, and then he was also saying like if I do this, like he was saying two things at once, just trying to kind of I guess get me off the phone. It was like I can't afford it, and then he sometimes he would say I can't afford it, but it would just make everything so like tight, like I don't have a lot of room in the budget. So yeah, it was
Like
just like
it's
fear,
just
and I
fear. Like you
yeah
see, if you ever get a lead, and I've had a few of these in my life where they don't want to do it, those guys are the best. They just tell you. Like if you go to a car dealership and you look at a car and you don't want it, what do you tell the guy? Say like, "Oh, I've left my car at home," or do you just go, "To be honest, man, I don't want that car."
yeah
Because like that is the easy way out because it's a reasonable response. The reason they give you all of this like smoke screen, fake objection, whatever, is because they know it's unreasonable not to do it and it's unreasonable to not join the program. But that fear and that lack of courage is still overwhelming them and stopping them from doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Ben?
What do you think of saying like, oh yeah, like I know it's an uncomfortable decision or whatever? Or do you think that's wrong? Because I've seen like different things on it. Someone said like you shouldn't reinforce that it's like an uncomfortable decision and that that's just like feeding into the smoke screen and feeding into the fear.
But I also think it's an element of being human, right?
Yeah,
Like a
that's what I'm asking.
5K like a 5K investment for me wouldn't be uncomfortable right now in my position. But the like majority of my life it would have been, right?
Mm,
So for me to say it's not an uncomfortable decision would be channel on shit. Like it
yeah,
is an uncomfortable decision, and that's completely reasonable. But uncomfortable
yeah.
decisions are what get you to where you need to be.
Mm. The argument I've seen on it is like, is there a version of you that thinks like spending 5K is comfortable? And they're like, yeah. And then you say why? And they're like, yeah, because I'm making like 10K a month or whatever. You say like, how do we ever become that person without making this decision? Like,
But if you're making 10K a month, spending half your income is still uncomfortable. Like that's why, like
yeah,
I get
yeah,
it, but the idea of trying to frame it as it will one day it won't be an uncomfortable, it'll always be an uncomfortable decision. Even when I invest now, like I had to pay my
yeah,
monthly one-to-one mentor yesterday. I was fucking oh fuck that sucks. Pressing the button. I've been doing
yeah,
it for like years now, and I still get uncomfortable doing it. So
yeah.
it's always going to be there, and I find it helps the prospect a lot more if you can relate to them rather than trying to convince them that this should be easy. You should just be the man and take action because it's just not realistic.
So do you think you should say that? Like that, yeah, like I understand it's uncomfortable, but like
Yeah,
this
I
is
say
just
like,
these
listen,
are
I
decisions.
completely understand for the situation that you're in right now. This is a really uncomfortable decision. I always pre-frame it as like for your situation now. Even though if they push back and say, well, it'll always be uncomfortable, yeah, in an aspect. But what will be more uncomfortable?
Yeah,
Investing or staying working in Mackey's making 2K a month?
mm, yeah,
But
sound.
yeah, good question. Herman?
Yeah, I mean, main thing I've been into is yes, it's almost always fear when I speak to them, but they like you said, they have the fear of telling me what's the actual issue, because it's like it's usually fear of them or that they are not good enough or something. But it's like every time I try to surface it, like I used all the common stuff, like yeah, would it be fair to say like so I get all the logic out of the way. They're like, okay, logically, like everything's perfect, like you do have the money. And then they always give me like, oh yeah, but I still want to look in the budget. I'm like, okay, so if it's fair to say like everything actually makes sense, you do have the money, is there some uncertainty here? They're like, no, 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 no uncertainty. And they're like really they really like don't want to go down any of those pathways. So it's like hard to handle the objection because like they just never admit it. It's like always the smoke screen.
Yeah, it's tough, but then you need to be a little bit more direct with them again. So like I always say, I say, okay, well, where do you look at your budget? Oh, I have a spreadsheet. All right, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Like if you're 100% certain that this is the solution you're looking for and you want to do this, it's just a case you need to look at the budget. Why wouldn't you just pull it up right now? But that's only
Hmm.
after you've gone through all that and they just aren't giving you anything. Because it's like now
Yeah.
you have to just
Yeah.
take it into your own hands and say, okay, well, let's fix this. Like let's look at the budget
Yeah.
together and let's budget.
Hmm. So just like progressively get more direct
Yeah,
as
because
the
the
more bullshit they give
longer
you.
the longer they bullshit you, the more direct you're gonna need to be to overcome it.
Yeah, that's what I need to start doing because I'm like, I'm that's not I'm nice, but I'm like, I just, sometimes like what they're saying, like it's not that it makes sense, but it's like I'm just struggling to go around it. So yeah, that makes sense. Just way more direct. Just hammer them.
Yeah, like just stop taking the bullshit, basically.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Cool. Johnny?
Gosh.
Yeah, is there a reason in situations like that? Because in my mind, I feel like there's a couple tools when an objection comes about, which is be really direct about it, kind of get to the source of what it is, or use some sort of reframe or analogy that is relatable to them that they buy into. I don't know what the third one would be. Is there a reason you wouldn't use a reframe in something like that? Specifically, your story about talking about how certain decisions have been uncomfortable for you and making a decision about where you want to
Well,
be. Would you go down the path of that, like the
yeah, I
balance that
mean,
they?
if they're giving me like an uncertainty objection or like a lack of trust, sure. But if they're telling me they don't have their wallet or their card or they need to look at the budget or they're looking at this or these two, then no, because I don't really have any sympathy for them because they're just bullshitting me out of the gate. Whereas if they hit me with like, this is, I'm just really scared. You get all the
Okay.
reframes in the world out of me. Like I'll be really trying to help you. But when you come out of the gate just bullshitting me, like there's no sympathy at that point.
Okay. So it's more so you've got a pretty good, I guess, like thermostat on like what's total bullshit. And then
Well, I
if it's
mean,
total
like
bullshit, you just call it out.
all of these are like 401k waiting for pay. Okay, put down a deposit. I can't. Why not? I don't have any money. So you don't even have 50 bucks to put down. Bullshit, right? I need to look at my budget. No, you don't. You know roughly whether you can afford 5k or you can't. Whether that's in the realms of possibility. Don't have your wallet, your card, chat and shit, pull up Apple Pay. Decision maker, why are you on the call then? Like all of these,
Okay.
the decision maker one's a bit tougher, but we'll come to that in a second. But yeah, you can just tell. Caleb, go for it.
So on my offer, since they're very A-type and it's like lead generation, like I talked with Mike because we had his two calls already this week, and he was like the emotion for those type of people are in the numbers. So go over the
Yeah.
numbers, find out exactly, and then the emotions will come out with that. Like, are they willing to stop to not be reaching their full potential any longer? Like it's been going on for a year now, whatever. The issue I feel like I run into is when we have a very like logical conversation like that, and it's like a lot of it's numbers based,
Yeah.
and I don't ask them things like okay, once this problem is solved, like what does that actually do for you? Like Mike said he wouldn't even ask that whenever you're going down that route. Like so then the issue is once we get to the end and I want to challenge them on like their fear, we didn't really have much of an emotional conversation before, so it's like harder to challenge them if that makes sense. Because we had such a logical, like numbers based conversation. It's like,
But you
okay,
can be
man,
like the way I would look at it is like if you've had a logical conversation, defeat their fear with logic. Like if you were scared of jumping into a pool of water, how would I convince you to jump in? I'd say, okay, Caleb, it's 2 feet deep. Watch. And I put a stick in it and go, it's 2 feet deep. You're not scared of jumping in anymore, right? So what are you
yeah,
scared of? Like that's what I try and understand is what are you actually scared of? Oh, I'm scared of what if I pay for this and then I can't afford rent? Okay. Well, do you genuinely believe if you worked with us, you would generate an extra X number of leads? Yeah. Okay. How much would that generate you? Oh, this amount. Okay. And over a year, how much extra would that generate you? This. What would that do for you, as we mentioned earlier? This. Okay. Do you feel like that would be a worthwhile investment? Yeah. Okay, cool. Like
yeah,
you just logic it to the max then. If you're having a fully logical conversation, just stay in the logic.
yeah. And I think when you go logical, I think your pitch has to be really good, if that makes sense. Like,
Your pitch
because,
always should be good. The pitch is the easiest way to
yeah,
get good at sales. There are guys I know who are just
yeah,
pitch merchants. Like they just only know how to pitch and that's it. And they would mop the floor with most of you because they're just fucking great at pitching. Like you feel genuinely like it's everything you've ever wanted.
yeah. And my pitch sucks right now.
Why though?
I
Because
think
pitching's so easy.
I feel like I'm just noticing like with now that I'm dealing with people who weren't in the webinar, so they're not super familiar with the offer, that after I pitch, like I wasn't having to do a lot of work pitching because they learned about it in the webinar. But then now I'm pitching people the same way, and they're like, how is that going to help me? And it's because I didn't get like far enough in depth on the
Ah.
actual offer.
So you got way too comfortable with your nice little webby leads. Now you got some real leads. You don't know what to do. That's what's happened.
Yeah, because the Webby leads, it was just hop in, handle objections, and close because they already know so you just have to handle the fear. But then whenever you have to go like a full hour call, they they didn't join the webinar. They're not familiar with the offer, so I got like used to just objection handling and then them paying.
That's why you gotta be prepared, son. That's why you gotta be organized. That's why you gotta get good at
Yeah,
everything. Lesson learned.
yeah.
We're gonna go
Okay.
over pitch next week, actually. That's a good idea too. Thanks, Caleb. We should hire you, JDS idea
Bro,
giver.
I
You'll
was
do
about to
better than us.
say, like, should
I
I
know.
do the next coaching call or
We don't want you doing the coaching. We just need you to give the idea, son. Stick to
I
getting
just need to
payment
mention
dipped,
my
son.
mistakes.
Yeah, stick to getting payment dipped. You leave that to us. Johnny, go for it, bro.
No, you're good. It was actually my question was on pitching, but you're gonna cover it, so we're good. We'll wait
Yeah,
until next week.
on Tuesday next week we'll do pitching.
Good.
Someone remind me. But yeah, we'll do next Tuesday. Um, Herman, I believe it was you brought up the wife kill me decision maker, right? So run me through what do they say? So you ask why do you want to do it, and what do they say?
Yeah, I mean, basically they're just like, I need to speak to my wife like before I do this. And then I start talking to them about it, and then they just keep like they don't admit that it's permission, but they throw up like I can't do it because she's gonna kill me. Like I know her, like I've been with her for like 20 years. Like if I do something without her knowing, like she's gonna be like really angry. And it's like, well, at that point, they're making it seem as if there's gonna be like a huge damage to the relationship. And it's kind of like how do I call it? It's like they're trying to mislead you into thinking that it's something that it's not to get out of the decision. That's how it feels like. Feels like you're manipulated, like taken advantage of. Like when they're doing that shit, bro. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, they're
But
using
yeah.
the emotion against you as if you're going to divorce the relationship if you handle it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would somebody ask? Let's say you have a prospect who says this to you. They say, if I do this, my wife's going to kill me. What would you ask them, realistically, anybody?
I would ask them, what is your guys' agreement on finances right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, I wouldn't go down that route. You can just say out loud, by the way. You don't have to raise your hand.
Ask, oh, so you need permission? They'd go, no, I don't need permission. And then you can pivot back to, oh, so how long have you been together? They go, 4 years maybe. So you know her pretty well? Yeah, yeah, I know her like the back of my hand. And then you say, so what would she think about this decision? And that's kind of, I think that's how I would handle it. Just give them the self-realization that they probably do know exactly what that person partner would think about that decision.
Yeah. I mean more so like after you've already done all that. And then they hit you with the that like what I just said. It's like you've already done all that. And then they're at this step.
Anybody
And
else? What do we think?
I'd say, does your wife know like the extent of your problems? And then like if the shoe was on the other foot, like if she came to you with a solution that, solved all the problems you had, list of problems, like would you want her to delay that decision or just go ahead with it?
I'll just say how's she gonna shoot you with a 12 gauge or a shot or a knife. So how's
I
she gonna
wouldn't go.
kill you?
I wouldn't go that route. Ryan?
I would say,
Oh,
I'll say something like, if you succeeded in this, will she still kill you?
but
Would you
they
still?
nah, because then they would just say they'd say, "Well, I'll never know," because as soon as I tell her I spend the money, she's gonna kill me.
Bro, Jordan, you need clarity. Is it a wife or husband?
For you, it would be husband, but for everybody else, it'd be wife. Caleb, I know you. I thought
no,
you were about to say something.
I was just gonna say, just freaking tell them you're a bitch if you're gonna let your wife freaking tell you what to do, bro.
Nah. So like all of you are taking this too literally. So I want to give you my way of thinking about this, right? Let's say that I was in a relationship. Let's say I had a girlfriend and one day and let's say that she would kill me if I made any decision. She would push me and it would be like if I made any decision without her, it would be crazy if I bought a program. What do you think I'm doing before I jump on a call to decide if I'm going to do a program or not?
Accident.
I'm telling her.
Probably get her to fucking come with me, right? And be there. So if I'd say, okay, so literally what I always ask them when they say, my wife will kill me if I do this, I say, okay, so if it's such a big deal, why
Why
isn't
is she
she
not on the call?
here? Like, if it's so important to her and so important to you, why isn't she here then? And then they say,
Mm.
oh, well, she was busy. She's busy, whatever. And then you can just reframe into, yeah, of course. But what's more important to you? What's more important? Is it the result or is it Her being too busy. Oh, it's the result. Okay, cool. Well, let me ask you, does your wife trust your judgment? They're always going to say yeah. And then you can say, okay, well, do you genuinely feel like this is going to be the solution that the both of you guys have been looking for all along? Yeah. Okay. And is there any reason standing out to you that makes you think that, okay, maybe this wouldn't work for me? Maybe this wouldn't get me to where I want to be? No, there's nothing. This seems like everything I've wanted. Okay, amazing. And do you feel like knowing your wife as well as you do, she would realistically think the same thing? Yeah, I do. Okay. So why would she kill you for making the right decision that's best for the both of your futures? And then you can go into responsibility. But you get rid of this idea because if it was that important to the wife, she would be there. Like she just would be there. Simple as that. Like there is no couple who like the most important decision couples make together is where they get married and the house they buy. Very rare that only one of the two goes to those two, right? And that's the way you should think about this decision too. If this is that important to them, they'll both be there. If it's not that important to them. And only one of them is the decision maker. Mr. Munoz?
And then what if you ask does your wife trust your judgment? And they say no.
Then you will just explore that, I guess.
Yeah, but why does she not trust your judgment?
Yeah. I mean, I do know or the right that I would take it, but I'm curious on your insight on how you do it.
I mean, if they just said, I don't trust, so they says, does your wife trust your judgment? No. Then I would just ask, okay, so with all due respect, why are you here? Like, but like that's what I'd say. Because even all the information I give you, right? What are you gonna do with it? Go tell her? Is she gonna trust your interpretation of the information? No. Okay. So what do you want to do? Like, who are we doing this for at the end of the day? But they will never say this, especially a guy. They will
Or
they'll never say this for the sole reason of like then like you're just DQ'd. Like see you later then. If your wife, if your own wife doesn't trust your judgment, who the fuck is gonna trust your judgment?
yeah. But I mean, you can also ask him like why she doesn't trust your judgment, and then he's gonna tell you all the experiences or all the times where he
Yeah, yeah,
hasn't
of
been there.
course.
You
You
use that
ask
as leverage.
why in between this. Like I should have prefaced that. Like you ask why, but whatever reason that they tell you, like it all boils down to this. If they don't trust their judgment, it's like if all that's true and you've made this number of mistakes and you keep making the wrong decisions, like why are you here and why isn't she here?
Yeah. Or so you can use that as leverage and you can be like, hey man, so she has like all the right to not trust you because you haven't been taking action, you haven't done the things that you know you need to do. And now you make him make a decision, whether that's or you trust yourself into making a decision for fucks once in your life, or you just like stay in the same position.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to go about this, but honestly, I've never had anybody say no that their wife doesn't trust their judgment in my experience.
Usually the 300 pounds.
Fair then, I guess, like I don't really blame them. I wouldn't trust
Yeah,
their judgment either. So,
yeah,
but 99% of the time they're gonna say yeah. Or they're gonna say, of course, she's my wife. It's my husband, whatever. Like they're always gonna have somewhat trust of their judgment.
fairs.
Ian?
Appreciate
Yo. Yeah, did you just memorize this? Because I'm just curious, like when this comes up, do you just know what to say? Because no one thought of this, but now you've said it, it seems obvious. I'm just trying to like structure like how I'm going to memorize all these things in my head, or do you just learn it because it just makes so much
Um,
sense? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like I kind of it comes as it comes. But yeah, I guess in like with the think about it, partner, fear, money. Like if you ever watch me like do those, they're all
Yeah.
memorized. Like they're memorized to a T. They have been for years now.
Yeah, yeah. And this one was specific to them saying my wife's going to kill me. So you're like, well,
Yeah.
why is she not here? Because it's like, yeah, if it is that. But this has got to be a smokescreen, isn't it? Like at this point, it's just like a delay,
Um,
isn't it?
It's
or
just the
not?
partner objection. It's just a deeper level of the partner objection. Like that's all it is. Is them really like really hunkering down on the partner objection. Like,
Yeah,
that's all.
because some people probably do like don't make any decisions, or like their missus probably does just have them by the balls, and they are going to come home and be like, "What the fuck? You spend what?" And they're
Nah, of
just
course, but those people also are aware of that. And if you want to do something and that's your situation, you would both just go to the call. I've had so many calls with couples, and they're always way
oh
more
right,
productive too. Like it happens all the
yeah,
time. You get both of them
right,
on a call and they have a real chat with you, and it's pretty easy.
yeah. So that's a real question, like why they're not here if it's that important. Just to uncover whether that is the real objection or not. Yeah,
Yeah, and also just to kind of ask it because I'm curious.
yeah, yeah. Because sometimes they're probably like just yeah, they probably should have just brought them along. Yeah,
Yeah, like if it's such a huge decision for your partnership and your relationship, you would both be there. There's no way you wouldn't be.
yeah, yeah. And then you just like say if it is that, then you just rebook the call with both of them there, I suppose, right? That's
Nah,
all you
because
can
this is
do.
at the end. So I'm gonna like, but it's now like again, it wouldn't be that important if she was there. Like if it was that important, sorry, she would be there. And because she's not there, it isn't that important. So I don't believe you.
Hmm. So what's the real issue in these circumstances
It's
sometimes?
just fear, taking
Yeah.
responsibility. Like, yeah, it's all a mindset thing.
Yeah. Cheers,
Cool.
bro.
Anytime, bro. Caleb.
Like, what about so with him, with this guy, the guy that this is the whole reason that we're doing this. It's like handling the when we got on the second call.
Yeah. So what did he
And I
say?
was handling
What was his objection?
okay, so we got on.
Well, actually,
Originally it
before you
was
go, Sarah, I assume you have a question surrounding this. So let's do that before we
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
into
So when
that.
you have the couples on the call,
Mhm.
do you go by convincing the one that is more convinced onto jumping into the offer and then paying, or how do you go around
Yeah,
that?
of course. You make a
Yeah.
2v1 always. You make it two
Okay.
against one always. But
Hmm.
usually couples are way more, they feel way safer and they'll trust you a lot more because they're both there.
Hmm.
Couples are actually some of the easiest people to close. When they're both there, like it's actually so easy all the time.
What are if they're both very much scared and they're very much doesn't feel like it?
But that's why
How
it's
do you?
useful having them both because you can get one encouraged and be like, "What do you th do you think that Sarah would crush it doing this?" You say that to the partner, and then the partner's like, "Yeah, I know she would," and that levels them up, and then it levels themselves up, and they're able to play off each other to give themselves a boost that they wouldn't get from you because they don't know
Okay.
you. Whereas they know each other so intimately and so well that they're able to actually hype each other up and give each other the courage to do it.
Got it. Thanks.
Easy. Ben?
What if they say they tried to get the partner on the call, like that was the plan, and they couldn't, like something came up.
Why'd you not reschedule?
The call was in like an hour, so I just thought I'd see what he's have to offer, how much it cost.
It was in an hour. What happened in the last hour?
But what you mean?
Like, well, how did it just an hour ago did she have to just disappear?
Just where one of the kids got sick and she had to bring him to the hospital.
Okay, well, should you not go deal with that instead of jumping on the call?
Yeah, but like at least I know how much it costs now, like because you tell me the price.
Okay, but what difference does that make? I mean, is the most important thing not that it's going to help you? Like, what does the cost matter?
Yeah, well, obviously the cost matters because if it was like quadruple the price, like it'd be of less value than if it's what it is now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Would it be of less value?
But yeah, because it costs more.
Okay, but how much is getting to 10K a month, living the life of your dreams, and doing all that worth to you?
Yeah, like a good bit. But obviously, if I can get for less, like it's better. But I know the price now, so it's down
Why is it better though? Why does it matter?
because it's less money.
Okay, but why does the money matter?
Because obviously the price matters. Like in anything you pay for. Like if the car you own now was like quadruple the price, like you probably wouldn't have got it.
But if I'd never been able to buy an entire a car in my life because they didn't exist and I came across one, would I care about the price or would I just buy it?
Well, you could probably find it for cheaper. Like
But there's no other cars. You haven't seen any others. You never looked. You've been stuck in the same bike your entire life. Would you just stick on that bike in the hopes that maybe one day a magical 200-pound car rolls down the street in front of you, or would you get into the car that you've always wanted to get into?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but does that you're not like the only person that does this, like so obviously you have like other options.
Nah, of course, man. So you're going to book calls with every single person that does this?
Nah.
Why not, Phil, man? Because if you want to find the cheapest one, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I mean I might book like another few and just get a general consensus of the
Yeah, but
price.
what if you miss out on the one that's £500 or it's £100? Like if all you care about is the cost, man, then you have to go book every call.
Yeah, no, it's not just the cost, but obviously the value is relative to how much I'm paying.
Okay, but what is the value? Like what are you booking all these calls for at the end of the day?
Yeah, to like make 10K a month or whatever.
Okay. And do you feel like after 2 years, 2 years from now, let's say you joined our program, 2 years from now, you've been making 10K a month for a year and a half. Do you think you're going to look back and say, fuck, damn it, that Jordan made me spend an extra £700, but I've been making 10K for a year and a half? Or would you say, thank God I finally took action and I'm in the position now to look after my wife, my kids, and my family? Which one do you think you'd do, Ben?
Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah,
I'm
that's not the
right. That
circumstances
wasn't
I'm
my
in
question,
now.
man. I mean, what would you do? Would you be the guy who'd save 700 quid for the sake of another year of being stuck? Or are you the type of guy who would do what it takes to provide for his family and his kids? Which one are you?
Yeah, definitely the person that's gonna like provide, take care of the kids. But this
Are you
isn't a
sure
matter
though?
of
Because
like,
right now you'd rather look for the 700 quid cheaper option. So, like, how can you say that that's the version of you?
yeah, but it's all to look for the options to still do the same thing, which is like take the actions to take care of my family in the end.
Okay, but what is taking action? Is jumping on calls, finding out cost taking action, or is actually investing in yourself, getting coaching and applying to roles, getting on a job and taking calls, taking action?
Yeah, definitely the second.
Okay, so are you taking action or are you just saying that you're taking action?
Yeah, I mean like getting on calls and pointing out the price, like it's still taking more action than I have, and it's still like
Oh,
taking the
great, man.
necessary
And
steps.
and 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 the action that you were taking before, how far has that gotten you over the past 2 years?
Yeah, like not fair.
Okay, so do you want to celebrate the fact you're doing more than got you nowhere, or do you want to actually finally take the action that you need to look after your family, look after your kids, and get you to where you want to be?
Yeah, no, definitely take the action, but like if I can get it for cheaper, that's would be better.
Okay, and let's say that you were the version of yourself who's making 10, 15, 20K a month. Do you think he'd argue over pennies and look for the cheapest option, or do think he'd just take advantage of the first solution he finds, which is genuinely going to help him and his family like he's been trying to do for the past 2 years?
Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right.
But I don't do this to
Yeah,
do right. It was a question, man. Like, what do you think?
yeah, but like it's just the price. It still comes down to the price for me. Like
What
at the
about
end
the
of the day,
price? What does it come down to the price for?
just like the price in return for what I'm getting. And
Okay,
obviously, if
so you
something's cheaper that I still think can get me to the goal, which is still the same result, like why wouldn't I go for a cheaper one?
okay, and what if you can never find a cheaper one?
What, like cheaper than this?
Yeah, what if you can't find one?
I'll, I'll get this one then.
Okay, when? In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months,
Nah,
3 months?
like a few days, three or
Okay,
4 days.
why? Why though?
Because I obviously like accepted that I need to take action, need to get
You're
myself
not
out of the
taking action,
situation.
man. You're still delaying. You're doing the exact same thing you've been doing for 2 years. You told me earlier you've been researching, finding the right option, looking at everything for 2 years. And right now you're falling into that exact same old habit again, but you're just masking it with a new thing with, oh, I need to make the cheapest cost. I need to make sure that it makes the most sense. There's two things that make sense, man. Either one thing is you want to make a change, you want to invest in yourself, and you want to get to where you want to be. Or the second, you want to pretend like you do and just keep getting on calls, hoping that you find one that's 20p and you can get away with it and get to your dream. But the question is, what kind of the man do you want to be in your family? Do you want to be the guy who says, okay, yeah, this is a lot of money, but let me do what needs to be done, invest the money, get to 10K a month and provide for everybody? Or do you want to keep window shopping and penny pinching to maybe one day get a fucking phenomenal deal on a course that might not even get you there? What do you think you want to do?
Yeah, definitely be the fella that like takes care of his family and does the right things.
Now, fuck off my call. Fucking little bastard. I hate people like that. I actually hate them. They're the
Nah, fair
one
play.
people I can't close because you get them all the fucking time. Where they're just like, I just find it cheaper. I'll find it cheaper. I'll find it. Shut up. That's what I always tell them. But no,
Yeah,
that's
nah, fair play. Fair play.
yeah, it's not all just for Instagram real son. I'm actually fucking legit as fuck with this shit.
Yeah, just have to make sure.
Johnny, go for it.
Yeah, so getting to know you and watch you on these calls, your frame is so strong. And I feel like your frame with every person that you talk to is that they're kind of a joke and they're kind of like a little bit of a bonehead, and you just kind of have to like whack them over the head. And then once they crumble, they sell. But it's like it's a very strong frame and it's like very unique to you. How did you kind of develop such a strong frame? Is it just through competency of winning that you can kind of come on the calls and kind of hit people over the head and come
I've
on,
always
idiot?
been like this. Like,
You've always
if
been
you
this
ever
way.
meet my friends who know me a long time, like I've always been like I was 14 speaking to my dad like this. He used to beat the shit out of me for it. But like I was the same. Like I've always been like this. Like I
Okay.
I just find stuff very simple. Like life is very simple. I believe that very life is just a simple thing. The way we think is very simple. And people just overcomplicate it. Like I want to look for the cheaper thing. No, you don't. You're just too much of a bitch to spend 5K. That's what it is. And you think if it says 3K, you'll be enough of a man to buy it, but you won't be. Like I know that. You secretly know that too, but you ain't gonna tell me that. So it's my job to get you to admit that. And that's just the way my
I feel
brain
like your
works.
frame is, yeah, I was gonna say, but I feel like your frame, your unique perspective is like the big needle mover of like, you're a bonehead. Come on. Like always busting balls, breaking rapport, like that authority that you have is quite good.
Yeah, it's also just a little bit of not buying into their frame. Like at the end of the day, they're on my call. They've come for my help and they've come for my advice. So I'm gonna offer you my advice. You ain't gonna like it. Like anybody in here who's ever been actually closed by me, if you ask Harry, you ask Sahil, you ask any of these guys, it sucks being closed by me. You feel like a fucking mom for a long time after. But you change your life because you realize you go, I've been thinking the wrong way my whole life. Let me make a change. And it might not work for you guys, but what I say works. It's about how you deliver it that matters. Like I'm way quicker. Like a lot of you guys could do the same thing, but it would probably take you 20, 30 minutes. I'll get it done in 5 because I'm just way more straight to the point, way more direct, and I just don't care.
Okay. And in Ben's case, where he starts to smile and starts to crack, do you just know that you can just kind of skip the rest of it? He's already crumbling.
Yeah, but the real prospect wouldn't do. They get like squirmier and further into their seat when you start to really stick it
Okay.
on them. But
Okay.
like I know Ben knew I was getting close to getting him, and that's why he started
Okay.
laughing. But usually they go the opposite way.
Okay. Cool.
God, don't if you give me an objection, Caleb, I'm gonna end the Zoom on you.
See
No, I
right
was
there,
just
he's
saying,
crumbled.
like,
He's crumbled. He's
Yeah,
gone.
that's what I mean. See?
Right out of the gate, he's crumbled. The second he says something, it's just
no,
bomb.
I was just saying, like, how do you not piss off the prospect when you do that?
What are you getting pissed off at?
I mean, yeah, you're telling the truth, but like, I've had prospects leave for a fraction of that.
Oh yeah, bro. Sometimes they leave, but like, you think I'm gonna close that guy? Like, if you'll be enough of a bitch to move your fucking mouse down to the end and end your call, you would never buy it anyway. So I would be as well have fun with it and make you leave.
Yeah, yeah, they'll be like,
But
I
it's,
don't like being pressured into something.
yeah, no wonder you're broke. Like, what do you
Can you
mean?
just say that? Can you just
No,
say,
no,
yeah, but that's why
no,
you're
no, no,
broke?
no, no, no. You don't say that, but like that is that's the implication, right? Is like to become rich, to become successful, you have to deal with pressure. Pressure is the number one thing when it comes to getting rich and successful, 100%. So this idea that they'll never be pressured and they'll succeed is stupid, which is why I pressure them so much. But the other thing too, which like if you watch when I do it, you'll pick up is like I also laugh about it, right? Like I'm actively like laughing with them. And it's very hard to get annoyed at someone when I'm like, what are you talking about? So you're just gonna book a call with every single coaching program out there? No, obviously not. Why not though? Because you want to find the cheapest option. Would that not be how you do it? And like it's the humor, but also the directness. it's like the way I describe it is like the way I talk to my prospects, the way my big brother talks to me. Like he makes fun of me, but he's also like, well, I'd slap the shit out of him now. But like back in the day, like he would have fucking stuck it on me. And I knew that it was serious. But at the same time, there's a little bit of humor in there to diffuse the situation. It's
Yeah.
how you don't get them to leave.
Okay. It's just kind of like your posture, like your tone. Like it's like, yeah. I feel like that's not easy to learn. Like I feel like that's
Probably not, bro. You probably have to pay me 50K and spend like a year with me. And maybe you pick up if you're lucky. But again, right? And I talk
Hockey
about this,
money, boom, bonehead, right there.
but I'd talk about it like it is also the way you are outside of sales. Like if any of you have ever met me in person or actually spent time with me, like I'm just the exact fucking same in person, like in real life as I am like on here or on a sales call. Like I'm just very congruent in my entire life. Mr. Buckin?
Yeah, I'm not saying that I could do this, but I feel like just for Caleb, it's like it's not letting them bother you, so you're kind of still happy in like what you're doing. You're not kind of pissed off because they're like chucking out objections, but it's also like not seeing them as not being intimidated by them as well. Do you know what I mean? So just being able to behave like what Jordan's doing because he just doesn't care. But that takes like I think that just takes like reps and
yeah.
confidence and whatever. I don't know. I can kind of see it happening though, but yeah, don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like just Trent dialing $150 yesterday, and that's the call I get. It's just some guy being a bitch about
Yeah.
how he's scared to do it. And it's like it's so hard to laugh it off. You're like, dude.
Yeah,
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 but
you're kind
that's
of like pissed
also
at that point.
But I'd say that's an attachment to like your situation, your result.
Yeah.
Like that's what that actually, if you want the Jordan Davidson mindset masterclass, that's what that boils down to. Is because you're still in a
Yeah.
scarcity mindset. Like I'm in the like I have one of the biggest abundance mindsets in human history, I believe. Like it's very hard to nag me out, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really matter what happens, it's very hard to nag me out. So for me, it's very easy to not get annoyed at the prospect or frustrated. I just don't really care. So just detach.
Yeah.
It's easily said, bro. Just detach, man. It's simple.
Yeah. Okay.
You just can't put them on a pedestal. Just trust that you're right.
Yeah, literally. All right. Anybody else got anything before we bounce? 3 minutes extra. That's not like me. I'm gonna have to bill you guys extra for this month.
Nah, you were late. Don't even try that
Yeah,
shit. You
you
were
were three
late.
minutes late. We had to get our full hour.
Anybody ever pipes up like that? That's what happens to you. No, it's Nikolai ain't in the fucking Zoom anymore. Don't talk to me like that. Fucking
Yeah.
stupid cunt. Fucking, yeah, that's what I thought. No, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you all on Thursday. Well, tomorrow. If you guys need anything, let me know. Give me a shout. And yeah, have a sick week. Have a sick weekend. Peace out.
Yo.